What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good Monday. Bobby Fly flying solo. Bobby Fly flying solo today. Sheets, happy Rosh Hashanah. And hope you guys are doing well. If you do have any baseball questions, feel free to throw them in. It's a 3-gamer. I know it doesn't start for a while, but really not all that interested in that slate. Much more interested in talking some NFL, playing the 2-gamer and the showdown. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go game by game and talk about plays for both. And then I'll sort of say where I'm at right now. Let me just do this real quick, and we will be off and running. Guys, if you have any questions about NFL or thoughts about NFL, what you guys are doing today, different things. Again, we still don't have a word officially on Burrow. We should know shortly. I'm assuming he's playing as of right now, and we're going to have to figure out what we want to do. All right, so let's go game by game here and talk about what we like here from every side. Obviously, Hurts is going to be the most popular quarterback for good reason. I obviously like Hurts. And it's just a matter of trying how do you get different with him. DeAndre Swift has picked up more steam as the day's gone on in terms of ownership. You can see right there projected around 29%. I think that Gainwell around 16. So I like the idea of playing some Gainwell and Swift lineups together. I don't love the matchup. Tampa Bay's always been good against the run. They're not exactly pass funnel, but they're closer to it than not. And with Gainwell, you get a little bit more receiving upside. So I think playing some Gainwell to get a little bit different won't be getting you crazy different, but it'll be a way to get somewhat different. And playing him with Swift, I don't see a lot of people doing. So I will be using that a little bit. I'll be probably overweight Gainwell, probably near the field on Swift, maybe a little over the field on Swift. And I will throw in some Rashad Penny just in case lineups because we've seen what's happened lately and talk about it. And then I am going to be overweight the Philly passing game, and that includes playing some Zaccheaus. He is one way you can get different. You see currently projected around 5% ownership on this slate. I like the idea of getting to some Zaccheaus, and I like him for showdown at only 200. I think it's a way to get a little different. Now, you could argue about possibly playing Covey. I just don't think I'm going to be able to quite make it. I think I'll just stick with Zaccheaus. I think you could take a shot in showdown on Stoll. And I like Goddard as a tight end option. It's just how do you weigh him against the other guys? I have him as the best, raw points, but I do think that it's interesting to think about whether you want to play him or whether you want to pay down for Otton on the other side of this game. And we'll jump over there. I'm going to probably be a little underweight on Baker when all said and done. I'll be underweight Rachaad White, but I still will have some exposure because I have so much of the Philly passing game. I'll be the most overweight Chris Godwin of any player, potentially on the slate. I'll be way overweight on him. I think that he sees more of the passing work today, and PPR-wise, I like him a lot better on DraftKings. So I am going to play some Chris Godwin tonight quite a bit. I'll probably be a little below the field on Evans because of it. I will throw some Trey Palmer in, both in Showdown and in the 2-gamer. I just want to get a little different, and that's one way to do it. If I, for the Baker stacks I do have, I will try to throw some of those that Palmer play in a little bit. And I'll, for showdown, maybe O'Keefe, but you have the really popular Otton. He's cheap. He makes sense. I would suggest maybe playing Sample at lower ownership as one way to get different. And that's pretty much where I'm at with the Tampa Bay side of things. Again, so for the Rams, I will, because I'm going to be underweight on Baker, I'll probably be a little bit underweight on Jalen Hurts, probably a little overweight Stafford and Burrow. That's just probably where I end up just because of ownership. And Kyren Williams, I just, buyer, it looks like the most obvious play ever. I would rather play Mixon as my priority. I would probably play 4 wide receiver lineups, not go for so many 3 running back sets. But Kyren Williams and Mixon are like the obvious cash sheet plays. And I would suggest maybe, especially in showdown, to getting to a little bit of Ronnie Rivers. I would suggest that if you're going to play Stafford, or even if you're going to play the other side of this game, or even just separately as a play, Van Jefferson at low ownership, I think is kind of interesting. Another way to get different are these 3K receivers and leaving some money on the table. Tyler Higbee I like, but not as much as Goddard. I'm happy to play him, though, in this matchup. This is one where I expect him to be looked for more than usual. And that's pretty much where I'm at with the Rams. I'll talk about some defenses after. Like I said, I'm going to be over on Sample, and I will be probably taking a shot or two on Wilcox on the 2-gamer. But more interestingly, I like the idea of playing one of these guys at 200 in the showdown. I think Wilcox is the sneakier one. I think you could even captain them so you can get everybody else in, because these guys are really expensive if you do want to play a stack here. I'll probably be overweight Higgins, maybe slightly under or right near the field on Chase. I'll be overweight Boyd, and I will take a shot. I'll be right near the field with Boyd, I should say. And then I will throw Irwin into the showdown side of things. I think Mixon's a really good play on the 2-gamer. I'm not getting to Evans or Travion Williams in the 2-gamer. I think that Travion would be the one I would pick if I had to pick. But I think more likely the way that I'm going to go is probably just using Travion in the showdown as well. And I think this is a slate where you want to leave some money on the table probably. You look at the defenses here, you see the Bengals are projected to be the most owned. I like the Eagles the best. The Eagles would be my highest ownership. Then I'm getting to a little bit of, then I would go Bengals, then Rams probably in that order, and then very, very little Tampa Bay for me. I don't think you need the money. I don't really know why they are projecting to be as owned as they are, to be honest. All right, here we go. Joanne, last week of baseball season and the playoffs. Hope you smash it. Thanks a lot, Joanne. Appreciate the kind words as always. Always good to see you in here. The NFL pricing is, you can literally play anything, which means I think that leaving 400 or 500 on some lineups and playing a weaker defense, maybe it's just another thing you can do to get a little bit different, because it is going to be hard to get different on a 2-gamer. And as we pointed out last time, you may want to consider some of these backup running backs, because that is what won all the money for Squirrel last week, and 7,000 left on the table, I believe it was. So just a good example of how you can build very, very different types of lineups. If I was max entering tonight, I probably would be willing to leave as much as 7,000 or 8,000 on there, just because I think it's a good way to get different. If Burrow does does Sample and Mixon get a boost? No. And Chase downgrade, especially with Slayback? No, not for me. None of that for me is relevant at all. I'm not worried about any of I don't know why Chase is not even playing again. I'm confused against Slay. I'm very confused, a little confused about that one. So maybe Rich, you can ask that last part again. But no, I don't think you're giving anybody in the passing game a boost if Burrow sits. Maybe you could argue they look for the tight end a little bit more, but I'm not. I'm planning on Burrow playing right now. I would be really surprised if an 0-2 Burrow sits. I do think he'll be a little bit limited somewhat. And I still have questions about this Rams team too. So I'm a Rams fan, and I still don't necessarily, I'm not as all in believing as some of the other people are out here. Anyway, guys, let's get to it. Let's talk about, I'll show you a little bit of, I don't usually do this for these things, but I'm going to show a little bit of some of the lineups I've got, and you guys just scroll through, see what I've got here. I will click my exposures real quick, and this is where I'm at now. They're going to definitely change, but that's actually not including that's just for, what's it called? Okay, let's do that. These are my overall exposures on the 2-gamer. You can see ahead on Smith, Mixon, Godwin. I'm going to get less of the Bengals defense. I thought I would actually be getting creative to not play Philadelphia, so that's going to turn a lot into Philadelphia. And you can see some of my lineups, 500, 300. I do have some where I'm flattened out, but I'm going to try and leave more on. There's some of my showdowns where I'm leaving 2,800. I think that's totally fine on the showdown slate today. So this is just a little bit of what I'm doing, and I'm going to have to shut this down, get out of here before I get in trouble with DraftKings, but that's a little bit of where I'm at. Just in the interest of keeping it real with you guys, and we are true DFS. We try to do everything transparently, so that's where I'm at as of right now. Oops, now we're on ESPN. All right, I did build a couple early baseball lineups. This is a terrible baseball slate, but I just was messing around. I figured I'd build a lineup, so I did. And right now I'm going to probably edit that lineup. But Texas is clearly the best stack. I think you're not stacking and you're trying to find one-offs, and I think you're using one-offs against your pitcher. At least that's what I would be doing, and I think you're leaving money on the table. All of those are the ways to get different on the baseball slate. Playing Jonah Heim over Garver and leaving the money on the table, that kind of thing is some of the stuff that I am going to be doing this evening. And I'm adjusting my lineups here, and we are going to get Randall Grichuk in. Okay. We don't need all that. So it's second base. Who do we play? And I need to do something here because I actually have too much. So guys, drop in questions and thoughts. I'll get out of here shortly. But I would like to answer anything if there is anything worth answering. So let me know. And I will take a quick look at the chat in a minute and see where I'm at. Let's see. Canzone. Okay, we're going to do that, I guess. Yeah, I'm high on the Texas LA game for what it's worth, and then I'm playing Snell and Webb as my favorite pitchers, obviously because I like the Texas other game. All right, let's see. Rich B says he was listening to the stochastic guys were getting the weeds about attacking the Eagles between the numbers like the Patriots did. They were saying fade Chase because of this. I mean, sure, you can fade Chase. Like I said, I'm a little below the field on Chase as it is, but I think this is way over analyzation. Just completely. And I also am very confused about, like, you're talking about Chase. Chase is not playing the Eagles. That's what doesn't make sense. You're talking about two different games. Chase is playing the Rams, not the Eagles. So I really don't understand, what those guys are talking about. Maybe they just made a huge mistake and we're talking about the wrong players. I wouldn't put it past them. I see that all the time. What's up to Valdez? Guys, drop in any questions or thoughts. I'm just going to real quickly say again that I'm going to make sure that I have the Eagles as the top defense tonight. I think this is going to be a similar situation to what we saw before, potentially like in Buffalo. I like, for what it's worth, I think Philadelphia kills Tampa Bay tonight. I think the spread is not nearly enough. And assuming that Burrow's back, I think they are going to get their little revenge on the Rams, kind of leaning a little bit more towards the under on that game, I guess. That's pretty much what I got. Anyway, that's all of what I'm doing today, guys. If you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know. I will be in the premium Discord for all you premium members all night. Anyway, yeah, so here we go. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards later on. Any questions, I'll be in Discord or the rest of the night. Good luck.